What's going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Derek, Cody, here as always. And guys, we're going to be doing one final mock draft before the draft condenses this week. We normally do this just by ourselves or with somebody else, and then we just upload it. But we figured we wouldn't necessarily do a live stream with this, but we're just going to do a live unedited version of us just going ahead and doing a mock draft by ourselves. We're just going to join our brain power here and do a mock draft simulator and see if we can come up with the best draft possible for us here in these rounds. So we'll go ahead and share the screen here and we will commence on this mock draft adventure with you all. So we're going to select for the Colts. We're going to do all of our 7 rounds. If it'll let me change it, thank you. We'll go fast. All right, let's start this draft.
Let's do it.
It's going to go ahead and go through all of these picks. And, you know, with the Colts not having a first-round draft pick, you know, it makes it a lot of fun. So we will, and like we said, guys, there's going to be no trades in this. We understand it can be kind of, understand it can be a little bit picky at times when it comes to that. So we will just ignore that. But here we go. So this is, Cody, the group of guys that we have here at the top of the leaderboard when it comes to this. Is there a certain position that you think we should look at first?
Let's look at wide receiver. I think we got to start there because we just, we already had our positions of need. We had wide receiver at number 1. So spoiler alert, if you haven't gone and see that video, go check that out.
Okay. Well, it looks like from here, we have, and also for anyone that's wondering why we're not using PFF versus using the Draft Network. Again, I think Draft Network just is a little bit better about where they place some of their players. I mean, I think PFF has Christian Watson being drafted in like the 60s in some instances. So that's kind of stupid. In my opinion, it really doesn't matter in the end. Everybody does these, but okay. So, I mean, you can also look at the picks here that Christian Watson and Sam Howell were drafted by the Seattle Seahawks right before this, but the top wide receivers that we have available are George Pickens, David Bell, John Mechie III, Calvin Austin III, and those are the top 4 guys at that spot right there. Yep.
All right. So we got those. Should we go over and look at offensive tackle?
Yeah, let's look at tackle, and then let's look at tight end as well. Then I want to see those two.
Ooh, Raymond
so
there.
Raymond at 52 is very promising. But I mean, there's another guy on this list that I think we could potentially go for later on.
Yeah, I see him.
And then when we're looking at the tight ends, let's look at the tight ends.
Ooh.
Trey McBride there at 61 and Greg Golcich at 81. Okay, look, I see where Trey McBride would really come into handy here, but I'm just going to say I see George Pickens at that spot. I really think we should go for that one.
In my opinion, he's the best player on the board.
Okay, so we will go ahead and draft George Pickens, wide receiver out of Georgia, and that will be the Colts' second round pick at number 42. Okay, we have a couple of other good picks here that we think we can get at.
All right, here we go. We're almost up.
Almost up here. It's 73.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Let's go ahead and look at the tackles.
Matt Corral's there. That was interesting.
Yeah, Nicholas Petit-Free got picked there. Okay, Trey McBride did get picked by the Texans at 68, but I see Abraham Lucas here. Now, you know me. I've been very high on that guy being potentially our 3rd round pick. You know this.
Okay. Yes.
So I like Abraham Lucas due to the fact that he's a very athletic tackle. He kind of still fits the mold of what Ballard likes, is 6'5", 200 or 300 and I think it was 15 or 320 pounds. And,
he's big.
And can move. He can move very well. So I like Abraham Lucas.
All right, let's go see tight end real fast.
Isaiah Likely and Greg Dulcich are both still there.
Okay.
And then you got guys like Jeremy Rucker and Jelani Woods later on.
Yeah. I think we should go Abraham Lucas.
You think Abraham Lucas at that spot?
I think so.
Okay. Because I honestly am of the idea that we should that we could talk about Greg Golcich in this sense, because I like Golcich. I'll just say this.
Yeah.
We'll pull his thing up real quick.
Talk me into him.
6'4", 248 pounds. Okay, so he's small. He's very small,
right,
but he's a good athlete with good straight line speed and agility. The only problem with him is kind of like the same thing with Kylan Granson. He is not much of a run blocker. Okay, so but Kylan Granson was actually smaller than Golcich when he got drafted, and he still turned out to be relatively good. But I think Golcich really shines in the pass game, and he is an underwhelming tight end at that spot when it comes to the run blocking department.
Underappreciated. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm thinking you either go with somebody else at tight end for later on, which we definitely could see, and then probably should just go with a tackle at this point, because we think that there's a good one.
Who are the other tackles that potentially? Okay. See, like, nobody really there is like. I feel like he's the best player of Like,
there's a huge gap. There's a huge gap.
Like, exactly. So I think for the tight ends, like I saw guys like Jelani Woods still down there, potentially could be available in round 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I think offensive tackle needs.
Okay, and I'm agreeing with you. Okay, so we'll go Abraham Lucas here. Few picks before where the Draft Network has him as his ranking, but overall we think this is the best gap spot we're going to get. So we're going to go ahead and get Lucas there, and now we will just go ahead and see where this takes us the rest of the way. See some linebackers and tight ends still there.
Golcich, 3 tight ends went.
and they're all gone. So we will see how this goes from here. The only thing that really sucks, Cody, and this is where I think the trade could happen, is that there is a huge gap between 73 and 122.
Yeah,
that's a huge gap. That's 50 picks. So let's take a look at the tight end thing real quick here, just to kind of see where we're at.
Okay.
So best one still available at this point is Jake Ferguson. I like Ferguson. I honestly don't think that he's not a fantastic run blocker, but I do think him coming from Wisconsin, he is, one of those guys that does have that blue chip on his shoulder. But he's also a much different tight end than what Wisconsin normally sees. So that's something to monitor. But we can also look at some of these other things here. What do we, you know what? Just for giggles, I want to look at the quarterback position here.
Yep. Bailey Zapp
Carson Strong still there at 130. But I don't think anyone wants a quarterback named Carson in the Colts locker room ever.
Not for right now. All right, let's look at some interior offensive line.
Offensive line? All right, let's take a look.
Anybody stand out there?
Apparently Chris Paul is in here. Didn't know he grew about 5 inches and gained about 200 pounds, but I'll say this. I am very excited about potentially getting Lindstrom. Lindstrom to me is a later round pick. I think we should keep an eye on that, but I would wait to hold off on that. I want to go to edge real quick. I kind of want to see if there's a good edge for me. I'm thinking here. I think Dominique Robinson or Ezesi Adamuo is another good one. But I also want to check corner because I think there's a couple of good corners we might be able to get. Let me see here. I'm trying to remember. Ooh, Monterey Brown. What was it? Oh, I think I remember him. Now this is a pick right here that I definitely could see. I think Monterey Brown was in my original one. I don't remember what picks. I don't remember what our next pick is. I think it was 150, isn't it? 150 something. Monterey Brown for me is a really athletic corner. I can definitely see that.
We also mentioned wide receiver. You potentially double dipping.
Yes.
So
Yeah, we talked about some of these guys.
Justin Ross, I know we talked about him.
Yeah, we talked about Justin Ross, basically a big body wide receiver. But he just is one of those things where there's just nothing that really excels about him.
Sure.
I mean, he really just sometimes he's had a few drop issues. He's just not consistent, and that's what concerns me.
Sure.
Tyquan Thornton is the other funny thing because I don't want Tyquan Thornton because he's severely underweight. He's more of a track star than he is a receiver. So,
okay, but I mean, what if you? I mean, in these rounds right here, I mean, that's kind of what you're trying to get a little bit, right? Like, is just some guy, some more speed potentially out there,
right?
Because Pickens is. I mean, he's not like a massive wide receiver, but he's not really the speed guy, right? He's more of the. He's not a bigger body. Is he? How tall is George Pickens? Out of curiosity,
George Pickens is like 6'3".
6'3". Okay, so maybe he is a little bit more of that possession type of wide receiver, but yeah, like I always felt like, okay, depending on what you do in that, with the first wide receiver you draft, you'd want to get another guy that's a little bit faster, right? Well, more that straight line speed type of guy.
Yeah, right, I'm thinking for me, I'd like to go defense in this some way because I think interior offensive line you can address later.
Yeah.
And then I think you can address wide receiver next round if you wanted to. I was thinking more along the line of either a corner or a defensive lineman for this.
All right, cool.
I don't know, man. This Monterey Brown pick for me is just speaking my language.
Let's do it.
All right, Monterey Brown, cornerback from Arkansas. That's what we're gonna do.
All right. So now we got some more depth at corner, giving Ron Miles and Mike Mitchell a little bit more to work with.
Yep, absolutely.
I like it.
And then pick 159 is where we'll be at next.
159. All right.
Rasheed Walker still there at the tackle position. That would be something I could definitely see the Colts doing later on.
All right.
Okay, let's see where we're at here. Jerome Ford out of Cincinnati. Want to take another another running back?
I don't think Colts Nation could handle it.
Okay, so Bo Melton is one that I definitely could see. I think we're all both in agreement there that Bo Melton's another one that's getting a lot of draft love. I'd love to see that. I want to see an interior offensive line. Okay, we could still get Lindstrom a little bit later on. That's fine with me.
Okay. Yeah, nobody.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. I think this one could be very interesting. Man, I can't even pronounce his name, but I know I've seen his name pop up several times on draft boards. 6'5.5", 320 pounds, and is very powerful. I definitely could see this, but then again, that might be a little early.
Yeah, he's more.
So are we thinking Bo Melton here? I
think so. Honestly,
you double dip at that wide receiver spot.
Yeah, let me look at Bo real fast. Just pull him up real fast. I just want to see Bo Melton, who he is.
5'11", 190. Yep. He's a guy that projects as a specialist at some point for right now. But he's one of the few guys. I think what hurt him is the fact that he spent a lot of those years at Rutgers and wasn't able to adopt a lot of that potential. He's a multi-year captain though, with 40 starts in his career. And his I think his father also played for Rutgers 20 years ago or 30 years ago. So it makes a lot of sense. I mean, just what you're looking at is he's a gadget player, and he's a guy that just shows a lot of the character that I think Ballard really likes in a player.
All right. I'm sold. Let's take him.
All right. Bo Melton at that spot. I think a lot of Colts fans would be happy with that one. Now we go all the way to pick 179. Oh, please tell me my guy that I wanted didn't go. No, he did. Gosh darn it, Cody. You didn't let me get my guy. No.
Okay, blame me.
Yeah, I will blame you, actually.
That's fine. I'm used to it.
Now, here, look, I know the number is a little misconstrued here, but I me personally, I think Lindstrom will go sooner than this. Will go in the 5th round. So I'd like to take Lindstrom if you have no objection.
No, I mean, we're round 5.
We're round 5. I mean, I don't know if we want to check something else. Is there another position that you feel that you would like to address?
I do think you need to address offensive line interior. Let's do it.
All right. We're doing Lindstrom. I like Lindstrom. And again, I know this says it's early, but I really like him. And especially for the fact that we don't pick for another 40 picks after that kind of is a little bit, I don't think we're going to get a chance at him if we waited.
Right. And, most likely there's going to be some trades involved. So they won't be at these picks, especially. So.
Okay. So we're in the 6th round here. We've addressed the cornerback. We've addressed wide receiver, tackle, interior offensive lineman. Do we start looking at edge guys here?
I could see it. Yeah.
Or edge or interior defensive line. I don't know which one would be better. When we're looking at, I would say interior, right? Because interior, you have more of a pressing need, I think.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay. Taylon Humphrey, 6'5", 350.
Oh,
no way! My goodness,
that's crazy.
Holy cow, man, that's heavy. Jesus. Wow. Okay. Former 4-star recruit that attended JUCO out of high school. Went to ULL. Big body defensive lineman. Yeah, no kidding. Overwhelmed Sun Belt opponents. Good strength. Is a 1-gap player. Shows good strength. Next level. Need to improve pass rush repertoire.
Well, he's
primarily used as a run defender.
Exactly. That makes sense.
Can play the shade or the 3-tech. Fits mainly in a 4-3 interior defensive lineman scheme. That makes sense. Good first step. It's good. Uses a rip move because of his ability to convert speed to power. I'm amazed. I keep seeing the word speed come out of a guy that's over 340 pounds.
Yeah.
It has me sold already, man.
Well, let's do it. That's a need, certainly, and he's not going to have to rush the passer a lot. Right?
Exactly. So. Right. All right. Let's do it. We're stretching, but we're
get a mammoth. Get a mammoth. I love it. You got one on the offensive line. Now you signed that one dude from Tennessee who's like humongous. So why not get one on the defensive line?
Exactly. Let's see who's best available at this point. Do I know any one of these guys?
Yeah, it's kind of tough at this later round here.
I know I had Ben Brown as like an ending round guy for me on the interior. I know I've had that. Tariq Carpenter's been another one for me. I'm surprised he's this low. I didn't think he used to be this low. Again, another like athlete that I think fits the mold. I mean, he's 6'2", 190 pounds. Yeah. So he's a big dude. He's more of a box safety, if you will. He's more of that guy that's he's a good tackler. At the next level, a transition to weak side linebacker or serving as a hybrid role defender is likely necessary for him, is what they say.
Well, to be fair, the Colts have some insurance at free safety, but not so much at strong safety. Maybe McLeod could probably play that, and he has. But you know what I mean? Like just getting more depth in there. I know they signed a couple safeties, but why not add more competition in there? Find your potential backup box safety behind Corey Willis.
And it looks like he's the best available safety at this point. So
let's do it. Tariq
Carpenter. And I think that's going to do it for
this
one specifically. Yeah, it's going to go all the way to pick number 256. And that is going to do it for us, guys. And then let's go to user picks. So I don't know why this is here, but we had George Pickens at number 42. Abraham Lucas, offensive tackle out of Washington State at number 73. Monterey Brown, cornerback out of Arkansas at pick 122. Bo Melton at 159, wide receiver out of Rutgers. Alec Lindstrom, interior offensive lineman out of Boston College at 179. Taylon Humphrey, interior defensive lineman out of Louisiana at 216, and Tariq Carpenter, a safety out of Georgia Tech at 240. How do you feel about that one, Cody?
I feel good. I do wish, and I do think they might address edge rush. I do think that could be potentially in the fold there. But as far as positions of need, I feel like we address pretty much all of them. What's your opinion on it?
Which one? I'm sorry.
Just overall the mock draft. What is your opinion on it?
I liked the first two picks. That would be how I would really love the first two picks to go if I had to get a really legit one that I wanted. I love Lindstrom and the interior offensive line depth. Outside of that, I mean, you're getting a bunch of guys that, you're looking at, they have something about them that sets them apart from a bunch of guys. Monterey Brown is an athlete. He's long at the corner position. Bo Melton's a gadget player that can play special teams for you. And then Humphrey, just a ginormous human being. And Tariq Carpenter, could be one of those guys that, is a camp body at first, but with Gus Bradley's defensive scheme, maybe he thrives in that.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, you just give him more athletes, man. I'm good with that.
Absolutely.
I'm good with that.
All right. Well, you guys let us know what you thought of our mock draft and what you guys would change, what you guys think was good about it. But let us know in the comments. Thank you guys again so much for the continued support. And as always, guys, go Colts.